it was 2004. I just got hired on that February, right? And we opened up, I want to say it was an April 4th opening day, which was great. So April 6th, it was Easter Sunday, and we put the tarp on the night before. We were going to have rain all day the next day for a day game. And, I asked the assistant that I had at the time, hey, go make sure the irrigation box is turned off. And he said he did. And then the next morning, we're pulling tarp, and we're going, and it was like, it's the first base path. We were pulling it to left field. So we were pulling the tarp off to left field because it was just so saturated with water on top. The drainage wasn't as good as it is now there. So we pulled it off to left field, and we're running across, and the guy next to me, his name slipped at the moment, but he was been there for a long time. Looks at me and he's like, why is it so wet underneath? We just crossed first base path. And I'm like, oh, it's probably just all the moisture from, the humid and everything building up underneath. And then we get across to shortstop and third base, and it's just mud. And I'm like, holy crap. The irrigation went off underneath the tarp, and I swear, I think I turned 50 shades of white. And was like, okay, we're going to get this fixed. So we exhausted every bit of drying agent trying to get that game ready, and we got it there. And then the umpires, well, wait. So the umpires come out, and then they're assessing the field. And you got to remember, this is my third day on the job, right? Under these big conditions. You got Stump Merrill with his big jaw of chew spitting at your feet, what's going on, Nicole? And I'm like, oh my God, we're not going to be able to play the game. The umpires are walking around on the field. It's kind of squishy, but we could have played. And then they ended up canceling the game, and I thought I was going to get fired. And just that whole, when you have a responsibility to ensure safety and get that game going because of our fans and the ticket sales and everything that goes into the game, to have it canceled because of a mishap that was, you thought you did the right thing by trusting your assistant to turn that irrigation system off. And I didn't want to be that micromanager to go behind him and check. I wanted to give that responsibility. But then at the end of the day, when I was going to get fired for, not having a game take off, I think that was probably the first and maybe the first time I actually just thought yeah, I'm done. I got to pack it in. I got to look for a new job, get my resume prepped. So, but it ended up being okay, and I justified everything, and they gave me a second chance. So
wow, what could have been? Oh
so always remember, even though you don't want to be that micromanager, just make sure that somebody turned that component off, because that's a make or break deal right there.
Absolutely. That is,
I don't get that game, so I keep thinking about it, oh my God.